Welcome, STEMgineers, to STEM to Stern, the podcast where curiosity meets critical thinking. Join Chauntée and Jake as they discuss STEM topics that spark debate and exploration.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to STEM to Stern. I'm Chauntée.
And I'm Jake.
It is Jake. And today, Jake's going to talk about this Pauli Board and all the information that goes with it.
And we're going to talk about Ant-Man.
Who wouldn't want to talk about that?
Which is pretty cool. So, Chauntée, are you familiar with the Ant-Man films?
I am indeed.
Oh, fantastic. So what's really cool about Ant-Man, he uses these things called Pym Particles to shrink down. But the
those little, okay.
The little cool physics fact about it is that in the movie they talk about how he doesn't become lighter. He still has all of the mass of his body. He's just smaller, so his volume changes. So that means that his mass stays the same, his volume changes, but that also means that the density of his body changes. So that's why when Ant-Man is like running along a table and he can go punch a bad guy, the bad guy gets knocked back like that because it's the full force of his body and all of his mass is still there.
That makes sense.
So that's kind of why
cool.
He's still super strong when he's in that small form.
That is so neat.
And that kind of ties into this little device here. This is it's kind of like a Connect 4 board in a way. But I designed this thing in Tinkercad and then printed it on our 3D printers here at our office. And I call it the Pauli Board because it's a way of demonstrating how the Pauli Exclusion Principle works. And long story short, the Pauli Exclusion Principle it's basically the reason why I can sit in this chair and not just fall through the chair. It's also the reason why atoms are the size they are and why we are the size we are. It has to do with little particles in atoms called electrons, and they stack on top of each other to higher and higher energy levels. And as Chauntée is so wonderfully demonstrating here, perfect.
Killing the game.
And so like the whole idea of the Pym particles is that they manipulate the Pauli Exclusion Principle. So they make it so that instead of the electrons around an atom taking up this much space, they only take up that much space, and that's why he's able to shrink.
That's a really cool fact, actually.
Could
we do it?
Could we do that one day? That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna guess no, just because my physics knowledge. But if we could, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I feel like it would really not work well with the shrinking and growing concepts for your body.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't be healthy for your body to have that going through it.
Yeah, there might be some minor complications, but if you could do it, it would be really cool. One of the things they mention in the movie is how when Ant-Man punches a bad guy, he's not only punching him with the same amount of force and mass that his body normally would have, but it's in like one little point. So it's like that much more pressure.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I also hadn't. I mean, I had thought about the whole idea of energy and mass when it comes to him. That's why he's able to punch so extremely hard. But yeah, that's really cool. I didn't make this connection.
Yeah. So it turns out our superhero movies are related to quantum mechanics, which is pretty neat.
Big brain energy.
Absolutely. And another really cool thing I like to point out about the Pauli Board here is the fact that you can make something like this in Tinkercad. And of course, Tinkercad is a CAD program that's specifically made for beginners. So it's a lot more streamlined, a lot easier to use. A good way for kids to get involved in 3D modeling.
I agree. I had never used CAD before, and that was my first chance to actually mess with CAD, and I was terrified of it. But I will say Tinkercad does give you a lot of places to start. And there's a lot of good tutorials and things on it. And honestly, it makes you start to feel like you're pretty amazing, pretty fast at it. So I definitely would recommend it as a place to start. I don't care if you're 8 or if you're 80. It's a great place to start.
And another quick question regarding Ant-Man. If you did have the ability to like shrink down, or he can also get really big. That's true too.
Oh, that's true.
Like, would you just like chill out for the rest of your life as a tiny person, or like chill out as like a giant?
I definitely want to be small.
Okay, you would want to be small. Okay.
Because I would want people to not know that I'm there.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Stealth, her stealth stat goes up when she does that.
Yeah, and you're like, you walk by and like bump someone on the elbow or whatever, they don't know what that was. It felt
They
like
just
there
think
was
it's a
something
bug.
there, and you keep doing that. I mean, come on, chaos.
Exactly.
I'm into it. But yeah, let us know, what was your favorite part of Ant-Man? What do you think about the idea of being small or large, or the concept of the Pym particles? We want to know.
Absolutely. My favorite part of the Ant-Man movies was obviously Greg Turkington playing the manager at Baskin Robbins. Look him up. He's a funny guy.
Indeed.
Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in to STEM to Stern. We hope today's episode got you thinking. If you enjoyed the discussion, subscribe and share it with others. And be sure to check out our show notes for free resources and links that go along with today's episode. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring, STEM engineers.